Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we dive into the storm brewing beneath sunny Corinthos' quiet surface, as fans grow restless watching a once feared titan of Port Charles behave like a shadow of the man they once knew. As betrayal closes in from all sides, particularly from Drew Quartermaine, questions mount: will Sonny snap, or has the beast been buried forever? Once upon a time, Sonny Corinthos was a name that made people lower their voices and look over their shoulders. He ruled the streets of Port Charles with a cold precision, delivering vengeance with calm fury and unpredictable justice. But that Sonny, ruthless, fearsome, and emotionally volatile, seems to have vanished ever since his brush with amnesia in Nixon Falls. After re-emerging from that episode under the identity of Mike, he returned as a man stripped of his fire, softened by his detour into anonymity. And while Maurice Benard's more introspective portrayal has garnered praise from some, for a large portion of General Hospital's fanbase, the transformation has gone on far too long. The summer of 2025, they argue, has only highlighted just how far removed Sonny is from his old self. And how ill-fitting his new demeanor is in a town teetering on moral collapse. At the heart of this tension lies Drew Quartermaine's unraveling web of manipulation. Once seen as a noble figure, Drew has steadily descended into scheming and deceit. His most recent sin, planting poisonous ideas in young Wiley's head that Michael no longer wants him, sent shockwaves through the Corinthos clan. For longtime viewers, such an offense should have triggered a swift and merciless reaction from Sonny. After all, Michael is his son. And once, not too long ago, Sonny destroyed Drew's standing in the family for less. Yet now, when Drew manipulates a child and weaponizes emotional trauma, Sonny shrugs it off like a man too tired to retaliate. Social media groups dedicated to General Hospital have become battlegrounds of debate. Longtime fans post screenshots of the old Sonny, demanding that the firebrand mafia don reawaken and rise to the defense of his blood. Even casual viewers are puzzled by the subdued approach. Carly, ever the voice of fierce maternal logic, has attempted to prod Sonny toward action. But even her frustration can't move him. She warns him that Drew's betrayal isn't just a squabble between grown men, it's an attack on Michael's identity, on Wiley's trust, on the very foundation Sonny's family has been built upon. But Sonny, ever philosophical in his post-Nixon Falls haze, mutters something about letting others fight their own battles, and walks away. This stasis, however, may be nearing its end. Curtis Ashford has reportedly unearthed damning evidence linking Drew not only to psychological manipulation but to deeper betrayals concerning Willow. Nina, wounded and desperate to be heard, has tried to connect the dots for Sonny, arguing that Drew's actions aren't isolated, that his betrayal of Willow is also a betrayal of their shared grandchildren. But Sonny continues to compartmentalize. He insists it's not his place, that Drew's war is with Michael, not him. But Port Charles isn't a city that allows neutrality. And if history has taught us anything, it's that silence in the Corinthos world always precedes an eruption. Beyond the immediate betrayal, fans are also wondering what's happened to Sonny's instincts. In previous eras, the man was a chess master of street politics. He saw deception coming. He preempted threats. And he didn't ask for permission when vengeance was required. But now, with Jen Sidwell rising as a potential major threat, armed, calculating, and increasingly invasive, Sonny has shown little more than passive resistance. Once upon a time, a man like Sidwell wouldn't have lasted a week in Port Charles. But now? He thrives, emboldened by Sonny's restraint. The writing team may be teasing a slow burn. Perhaps this isn't aimlessness but foreshadowing. Maybe Sonny isn't gone, maybe he's just biding his time. There's something to be said about a man who learned from his past mistakes. After all, the old Sonny often left wreckage behind when he let his temper rule. The deaths, the betrayals, the broken alliances, they weigh heavily on him now. He's tried to evolve. But the problem with evolution is that the world doesn't always evolve with you. While Sonny has traded fury for reflection, the rest of Port Charles has only grown more treacherous. The stakes are only rising. Michael, still caught in the fallout from Drew's manipulation, is beginning to spiral. Willow, having fought through illness and loss, is once again being used as a pawn. And Drew's justification, framed as protecting his own emotional territory, rings hollow to everyone except perhaps Drew himself. For Sonny, the longer he waits, the more control he cedes. Every inaction chips away at the legacy he once ruled with an iron fist. Could it be that Sonny is fighting a silent war within himself? A man torn between the life he once ruled and the quieter existence he promised to adopt? Perhaps. But Port Charles doesn't forgive hesitation. It's a town where power vacuums are quickly filled, where one moment of peace is bought with a lifetime of war. And as Sidwell grows bolder, and Drew becomes more dangerous, it's becoming clear that Port Charles doesn't need Mike, it needs Sonny. Some fans believe the final straw is approaching. The day Drew's betrayal becomes undeniable. The day Michael looks at Sonny with disappointment rather than trust. The day Wiley asks why his grandfather didn't stop the lies. And maybe that will be the day Sonny's old instincts flare again, the calm gives way to storm, and the sleeping lion finally roars. Until then, the tension mounts. Carly continues to press. Nina continues to plead. Curtis continues to dig. And Drew continues to plot. In the shadows, Sonny walks a razor-thin line between wisdom and weakness. But one truth remains, the longer he hesitates, the harder it will be to reclaim the throne he once never had to fight for. The beast is caged, but the lock is beginning to rust. The question now is no longer whether Sonny can return to form, but whether Port Charles can survive if he doesn't. As enemies circle, and loved ones drift, the silence becomes deafening. One way or another, the reckoning is coming. And when it does, either Sonny will rise, or everything he once stood for will collapse. Stay tuned. The king may yet return. And when he does, Drew Quartermain and Sidwell will have much to answer for.